looks like we're not in a media studio then.
Correct.
You know, we're not on the TV show or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'll just, here, my voice is a bit booming, so I'll turn you up a little bit. Yeah, okay, I'll do a little quick introductions to start the episode. So it's the next episode of Comedy Guy, and it's an absolute pleasure that here in the podcast studio we have Dave Benton with us today. Thank you, sir, for taking the time out of your day to come along.
My pleasure.
That's very nice of you. I've spent the morning trying to work out where to start with your story because I love stories. I love hearing kind of not just... That's what I think the podcasts are for, not just to hear the news bite, the sound bite, the small thing, you know, whatever's some longer thing. But we can get to this. I mean, how's Corona going for you? How are you personally dealing with it?
It's strange because after my kidney transplant of last year, it feels that I've been in quarantine for 1 year already. So the Corona just added to it. So now I have to stay longer at home. Yeah.
Okay. You're good at this. You're already professional at staying at home.
Yes. I know already what it is. Yeah.
Before Corona, what were you actively doing shows or doing some tours or something before that, or has it all been recovering from the operation?
Well, before the Corona, it has been all recovering. I tried, or I did 1 or 2 concerts before, and I was so stupid and eager to do the concerts right after the operation. 1.5 months after the operation. And that I get the title of stupid for doing that, because you just don't do that. I literally felt on stage that I'm gonna collapse. Wow. If people ask me one more song, I'm gonna collapse.
Right.
Definitely.
But that's the artist in you, and I gotta go. Like that's always it's in one way it's nice to hear that still burns inside of you.
It's true. It's true. You live for it. The place is sold out. They're telling you, Dave, the place is sold out. So I kept my mouth shut. That I just came out of the hospital. I kept my mouth shut, and I asked from Cici, we have a concert, so I put Cici there to do some songs to cover, that's and we did it in a sold out Rakvere Culture Center.
Oh, that's the big one, the 400-seater.
Completely sold out.
Beautiful.
And well, after that, I really felt like, how stupid can you be? They drove me home. They drove me home. My sound man helped me to walk into the house, and my wife looked at me, told me, you must be out of your mind, really. And I was, actually. But that's the whole thing, you have this belief and this push of the show must go on, the people has nothing to do with how you feel or if you're sick or not. The people has nothing to do with it. They bought the tickets, the place is sold out to see you. It doesn't say any show. It says the Dave Benton and Cici concert. So they bought the ticket for your show.
I think we can forget that sometimes as performers, like what it's, okay, we're doing a show, it's the next show, we're going to the next thing, there's always something happening, and it doesn't become normal, but you forget that maybe it's a theater show, they bought a ticket, maybe they had to hire a babysitter, it's a big night out for them, wife's put on a dress, this is something special.
It is,
Yeah,
to keep
that perspective.
It is. Buy a new suit, doing the makeup, fixing their hair and everything, just to come to your show. And you go like, I don't feel like it today. Nah, listen, I have a headache. Can you take it over for me? It doesn't work like that. It's luckily yeah, I'm of the luckiest performances who have a daughter or even two daughters following in my shoes. You know, one who can take over for me already, and that's what I did with a lot of gigs, like we call them. You know, I prepare everybody. Listen, I have this, that I'm on the list of a kidney transplant. So it can happen all the time, anytime.
Yeah, when your time comes up, you've got to go. You want the kidney, Dave? Well,
the
time to go.
kidney is there waiting for you. You have to go. You know, so I prepare everybody for that. In case it happens, Cici will take over, or my band will take over. They are prepared for it, and it happened just like that. You know, they called me exactly on the date that I have a wedding. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, I go like, and texting and everything. And Cici knows already, okay, she has to do it. The band knows it. Everybody knows. So you have it prepared, you know, but that falls under the same term. The show must go on.
That's true. I love that spirit. I love that you're still able to do that.
No matter what, it has to go on. You know, that's.
It does. Yeah, that's been a difficult time for us at Comedy Estonia because we're just itching. We can't. There's no stage, nothing. There's no outlets.
Yes.
And that's why all these podcasts have suddenly been popping up because
correct.
We got to do it.
Yes,
and in some way, the show can go on at least in a little way. There can be communication and do that.
And I'm actually happy for this. I really appreciate it. You know, you can be sitting at home and people forget, especially in my situation. Like Estonian people, Estonian audience, they don't know that I'm ready to perform. You know, they still think that Dave is sick.
Oh, okay.
Benton is sick. Dave Benton has this, the better. But they should know that after the Corona thing, I'm ready to perform. Actually, it's okay.
I was wondering, okay, because I thought for a moment you were going somewhere else with this, which is I see in my friends who are comedians, like my friend Sander, who's a well-known stand-up, and it might have been a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks after the Corona, and he's like, do people remember me? Yeah, bro, you've just done 3 national tours. They remember you. It's okay.
Yes.
But no, they don't. No, I better put out a cooking show or something else every day, like, so they remember me. And I'm like, they remember you. It's all right.
They do.
But that artistic thing of oh God, maybe not, which is
yes, exactly.
so irrational, but somehow so tied to the artistic process.
Yes, you are. You are. And the whole thing is to keep it going. You know, so thanks to all this kind of broadcasting and interviews and whatever, thanks to the internet, you know, that people can still see that hey, no, he's alive. Damn, whoa, you know. So it's like they had another program with Cici in the weekend. Cici called me next day and they went like, hey, Dave, whoa. You know, like, where the hell did he came from?
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah. Where the fuck do you think I've been? Well, I'm still
the
here.
Hell?
Yeah.
I live with Cici. I'm her father, remember?
So once we've been given the all clear and once the Corona's over and once you feel like you're back to full strength, what is typical work life for Dave these days? I mean, you're doing some shows, some bigger things. What projects have you got going on?
Luckily, I have, or we have, my wife and me, my family, we have a production company. We organize shows and all that. So actually all the concerts and everything that we've been doing, we organize ourselves, you know, and now Cici is also part of the company. So organize shows, doing concerts, doing gigs. I have a trio and I have a full band. That's the regular things, and making appearances. Try to get on TV, as few as you can.
Yes, I can understand that.
yeah.
We're really good at appearing a few times, very little on television. That's a skill of Comedy Estonia we have. We never get asked on the TV. It's a big skill.
yes, it's. Yes, and try to keep on being in the view, even if it's in the mirror, but people have to know about you. People have to see you. People have to hear about you, and that's important.
Okay, to keep that constant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that. Okay, sure. I while I do joke about my friend Sander that, okay, I make fun of him that no one's forgetting you. On the other hand, what you say is correct. That as an artist, you do need to keep going and you do need to keep plugging away, keep trying. Every day is a struggle, not only to, I don't know, come up with something new, something fresh, something that pushes you, but you have no job. You have no boss. There's no career ladder for you, or not, at least no career ladder that is prescribed in some HR report for a company that says, Dave, if you do the next 2 years, then you're going to rise up to senior singer. And once you've made senior singer, then you're going to be vice president singer. And
exactly. It's not like that.
It's
not like that anymore.
Guarantees.
Yes.
But you've been able to, by forming your own production company and organizing your own things, you've been able to sort of take a bit of control over that.
I have it actually. That's basically the first thing that I did. I was part of 2 companies. One with a friend of mine, Kalle Koif. We had a Big Daddy production. And we were doing weddings and other events and everything. And after that, then I started my own company. With my wife, and that happens basically right after the episode of the Eurovision.
Okay, so since then, that company's been running, organizing, and kind of your own management company.
Yes.
Huh. That's interesting for me because that's a question that I've thought about a lot. So we have our Comedy Estonia comedians and we're doing shows and big shows, small shows, open mic in a cafe and the theatre maybe at Vene Kultuurikeskus. But we are also our own management agency. So we run, like you, we might sell tickets to the Vene Kultuurikeskus.
Yes.
But I also work with those comedians to guide their careers. What's your next step for each four? And we've got about 7 or 8 who are living off it, actually. No rich guys here, not at all.
But it's an income.
It's an income. It's an income, and they're getting there with that. And then a lot more that are trying, aspiring, and so we're the same. So I'm guiding their careers at different levels and trying to sell them tickets and so forth.
I mean, it's not only an income; it's an art too.
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
it's an art. People have to understand it. It's an art.
Right. So this is sort of, I guess, where I'm kind of weaving my way through this because, I mean, management is not very common in Estonia. People are used to getting connected. Why can't I just talk to that guy? Well, no, I'm his manager and that's fine. And tell me your idea and then I'll go speak to my artist and we'll work. No, I want to talk to that guy.
Yes.
And people just aren't used to it. And then even if there is management, do they have the experience? Can they do it? So and it's not even common now, let alone 2001, 2002. So it was just for you, was it just easier for you to sort of look after yourself back then?
I tell you, I have a background of my studies and things that I graduated in, and one of them is sales and marketing, management. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know, so I've been a manager for different companies in my life. I've seen how management work, and more importantly, I've seen how management doesn't work.
Always in entertainment or other fields?
No, other fields too.
Okay.
I was sales and marketing manager for Nissan Motors on the island, selling cars.
Okay.
For a long period. I was director of an offshore company in jewelry. And I was manager for a jewelry store for 13 years. So I'm a gemologist, actually. That's the first thing that I graduated in. I'm a gemologist.
That's the word for it. Who knows and studies jewels.
Jewels.
Huh. I didn't even know that was a word.
Gemstones.
Gemstones. Yeah.
Yes.
Gemologist.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Where did you learn that?
In Boston.
Okay.
Yeah. GIA.
Is that because Boston is where you went after you left Antilles?
No, while I was on the Antilles.
Okay.
So I spent like 3 weeks in Boston to complete the study. Gemologist Institute of America, GIA.
Right.
So you learn one particular thing that I learned in my life, and I graduated, is personalia. Learn how to deal with people, with different people. You know, how do you act if a person has an attitude that you don't like, but you have to sell to this person? You know, all that. So you know for your career what to do, what not to do, and everything. One particular thing I learned in my entire career, sorry for everybody out there, but female management are better than male ones.
Amen.
They are. They are. I had 2 female managers who got me up to there. You know, no interest, no personal interest, no nothing. The job. Main thing, we have to sell you. That's the main thing. That's why we are your manager. We have to sell you.
I like that.
Nobody calls to you. They call to us. They deal with us. We deal with them. You are safe.
I think that's the way management should be.
And I like that.
Yes.
You know, I like that. You know, you don't need a manager who sits in his office waiting for people to call.
They could just call you.
Who buy you. They can call you. They don't need to call to your manager. Yeah? Your manager supposed to sell you. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to find places for you to perform and to sell you the best for you. That's
that
their
idea.
job. That's their job.
In Comedy Estonia, our operations officer is Helerin. She's a lady. Sales manager, Christina, whose job is literally to sell us.
You guys are safe.
For the company. Is the incoming CEO who's going to be coming in next year, Merrily. We've actually only got, besides me, it's got one project manager is Henrik, is a guy. And even then, I'm very, very happy with my project manager. He runs tours. He's very good at his job. I'm very impressed. But before I was like, a guy... Ooh, I don't know. I've had such, so far the women have been doing very good with this.
Yes.
Now I'm convinced, okay, it's not quite, but I don't know either what it is. I don't want to say, is it some aspect of femininity or some perspective or what it is, or is it just coincidence that I've done well?
I tell you, I don't want to dig in it. I don't want to dig into it. For me, it's just like that.
Yeah, it just is.
It's just like that, you know. And some people don't want to respect it, but they have no choice. They have no choice. It is like that, you know. I work with partly, I would say, a pretty good manager in Estonia. I was the first manager that I had and the only one. That's it.
So you still, even though it's your company, you've still got that manager person inside of that company, or how's that?
No.
Have you got
he was before I had my
oh, okay,
whole
yeah.
thing. And he was good. He's big. He's great. But if I won the Eurovision and 3 months, 5 months later, I'm not working, my friend, there must be something wrong.
Yeah.
There must be something wrong, you know? So your job is to sell me.
Yeah. And that's it should be exactly what a salesperson wants.
Yeah.
Like, you're the hottest property around at that time. That's the moment. And we know as artists, these, whatever they say, hills and the artist's career is hills and valleys. It's drought, famine, feast and famine is the word I'm looking for.
Yes.
1 year, you're the top of the world. You are the number one. The next year, for whatever reason, maybe not. And
Yes.
it's, as you say, consistency to see it through those ups and those downs.
Exactly.
But that's, to me, what the sales manager should be looking for. Like, yep, all right, we got the hot one right now.
Yes.
How can we make as much as we can in that moment?
And if that doesn't happen, there's something you're not doing right. And I find it out what it was. And I called him. I said, listen, let's have a meeting. Yeah, come to my office. I said, no, I want it in a neutral place. So let's meet in a restaurant here and so. And I told him, I said, listen, this is the case. Concerning everything that happened and everything, and the contract that we're signing and everything, you're not selling. You're not selling me. I cannot believe that I'm not selling.
Right.
I won't take it. I won't accept it. I'm supposed to be out there. I'm supposed to be on the road. So we are not going to go to court with this. We're not going to fight about this. I'm not going to call you names because I know you too well. You know me. By this, we shake our hands and the contract is nihil. It's over. If I got something, if I need you, I will call you. If you need me, please call me. I'm here. Deal? And he stood up and he shook my hand. He shook my hand.
Good.
And I went like, damn, I'm so right. I'm so right.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is that as good as he was, there were people who were calling me to perform. And I tell them, no, please call this number because he's my manager. We don't want to talk to him. Oh, no, we don't want to deal with him.
Just out of principle, you mean, like, just nothing but him. They don't know him. Just it's a personal.
Personal.
Oh, personal. Okay, that's different. Sorry, I thought we
personal thing.
Right. Okay.
No, we don't deal with him. No. And then there was one person who told me straight. He said, Dave, nobody will deal with him. So be smart. I go like, wow. Okay, this is it. So we shook hands and everything, and that's it. We were calling each other. He called me. I call him.
It's an important moment, that time. I mean, it's not to put you down. It's almost like a standing up for yourself, which I think artists need to do if that's not happening. I had something, I guess you could say I had a similar experience, that my first employee in Estonia, I hired somebody, and I guess you could, I really knew nothing. We were just doing comedy shows. We were standing on coffee tables still. We were, in bars doing whatever the fuck we could. It was, some people were coming. There was clearly something there. I'd got a few gigs and I'm like, okay, I got just enough to pay someone to do something. And they were a manager, not in title. They were an employee. But I looked to that person for guidance because they had much more experience in entertainment in Estonia than that. And yeah, I don't even know where I was going with this. It was this. I guess it was the same thing as well. It's eventually that person, it didn't end up well between us either. And I can see also now, I'm not saying anything about your situation. I'm saying with myself, I think a lot of it was I didn't know enough about the industry to know what's reasonable, how to act, how to be. I think as an artist, you need to know how to deal with a manager as much as a manager needs to know how to deal with you as well. And
Probably.
I think I didn't understand that well enough at the time.
Yes.
And so through also fault of my own, I think a lot of her as well. But anyway, that relationship degrades. And then there has to be that time of saying, no, this isn't going to be anymore.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. This is show business. And show business is one start and keep on going. And keep on going. The end is where you fell down. And even if you fall down, you stand up and you keep on going again, until you can't go anymore. In show business, you have to know when to stop. You have to know yourself when to stop, when it doesn't work. As long as you know in your head that, no, it can still go.
Sure.
Be careful what you wish for, because then it can still go.
And maybe it can go not in the same form. I think it speaks as well to the evolution of the artist.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, I'm not young as I was before. I'm not doing exactly, I'm not on a coffee table. Well, okay, some days maybe I still am. But
exactly.
You evolve and, I don't have to stop doing this, but how am I going to evolve as that artist? Who do I become? Who does the audience, I guess, in some ways want me to become? And who do I want to become?
Exactly.
And then we can maybe keep something going. I think you were kind of implying there that someone like an artist could keep trying, but no one's coming. It's a bit sad. And that can be because, I don't know, maybe they're not good, but can it be they didn't learn how to evolve with their audience?
Yes.
Not exactly. That, your career has ended.
Exactly. But the important thing about being an artist is know where your category is falling under. Does it falls under a beginner, a good one, a better one? Do you really believe you're a superstar? All these things, whatever you think, you have to act like it.
Yeah.
You have to act like it. If you're a beginner, you have to build up to become a good one. If you're a good one, you have to build up to become a better one. If you're a great one, you have to work hard to become a superstar. So it's a ladder you have to climb. You have to do that.
How can you keep that perspective? Because one job a manager can do for you is they're an external person who can observe you. Hopefully they're close to you. Hopefully you trust them. And then you go like, no, okay, like, here's where you're at. Now, here's where you're going to go, and here's the thing. But if you bring that in-house or even internally, I guess, as you did after this incident you spoke of, how do you self-regulate? How do you know where I'm at right now?
You have to feel that. You have to see it. One important thing to all artists out there, all of you watching this podcast, be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Know that you're not good because you look extraordinary, handsome, build up. You're showing all your what I don't have.
Or the abs, or the stomach.
Abs, all that.
Yeah.
You're not good because of that. You're good because you're a good artist. That talent that you have, comes out when you open that mouth, you know, or when you dance and when you move. Females, don't think you're good because you have a nice butt, you have nice tits. It doesn't matter. If you can't sing, you can't. So any manager who goes like, what the hell, she looks bloody good, guys. We can make something out of her. It's nonsense, because one day it will fall. And what then? What then? You know, then it's a failure. So your manager has to know the business. Your manager has to know if you're good, if you're bad, if you're a beginner, if whatever. You know, like all great managers used to know, you know. And when you get a good manager nowadays who knows it, things would be different. Things would be really, really different.
I think there can be look, I've never really worked in entertainment. I've only really established this entertainment business since I've been in Estonia. Now, certainly I travel and I watch the news and I know what's happening in my industry all around the world, but I've only sort of deeply worked here. So it's hard for me to compare else. But one thing I see in Estonia on that issue of know yourself, be honest, have honest people, because we live in a small country, true, much bigger than Aruba, but still a relatively small country. It's relatively easy for a young artist to be picked up in the media cycle. They do something, maybe it's a reasonable thing, maybe they got a good song, a performance, maybe that one thing isn't bad, right? It's a step on that way. It's a good thing before the very good and the great, as you sort of said. But they can do sort of one thing that's good and it's a step along the way, but then all of a sudden they're on the TV program, they're in the radio show, it's so quick to get pumped through the media cycle because they're young, maybe they don't have a good advisor. They're like, of course, oh yeah, the radio's great. Oh, magazine, I want to be on the front of the magazine, love the magazine. Of course, they all sound reasonable things to do, but then 3 weeks later, everyone's sick of you. And not only is everyone sick of you, you haven't developed as an artist because you've got to, okay, now you've had the song, cool. Where's the next song? Where's the next one? And I could see it as a particular trap in this small industry.
I tell you, they all have to deal, managers, artists, producers, they all have to deal with this package here. This package always ends with, what now?
Yeah.
What now?
What now?
She got a record deal. She got this. She got that. It can be also a he. Doesn't matter. This. We got her out on Chronica. We got him out on this. We got him out on that. Uchterlicht, blah, blah, blah. Everybody we've seen in a TV show, he's all of a sudden, he or she is a expert to be jury, to judge any item, anything we have on TV. Blah, 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 blah. Good. All that is over. What now? What now?
What now in this small market where realistically there aren't all the world of opportunities?
Yes.
Yeah.
You see? So, luckily for me, when I came to Estonia, I didn't burn the bridges behind me. You know, so in Scandinavia, producers and management and people knew me. And they knew Dave Benton. And before that, other countries, they know Dave Benton. So I paid my dues before I came to Estonia. When I decided to come to Estonia, it had nothing to do with being an artist. I decided to come to Estonia purely because of my girlfriend, and purely because I wanted to start all over again. I wanted to start from the bottom of everything. I came to Estonia with $500 in my pocket. I had a girlfriend and her family to catch me here. I wasn't thinking of continuing my career, becoming the Dave Benton I am now. No. I know that I still had my contacts out of Estonia, and I still work with them. And that was it.
Were you able to you could take the leap because you had made the leap several times in your life previously? I mean, you moved from Antilles to America, as much as I understood. At some stage, you were living in Netherlands, I think.
Yes.
So you've done this, because some people they never leave the home, or they never leave the country, or they just live there. But you've already learnt not how to live in that specific place, but it's like how to set up and adapt in some new place.
The main thing is to be yourself. Wherever you go, be yourself, And like I said before, if you're in Rome, you do like the Romans. And if you don't like what the Romans do, then you have to adapt. You have to adapt. I consider myself to be very lucky in Estonia. I met my wife. We started a life here. We have 2 wonderful daughters.
Lisa's in the studio with us right now.
Yes. Lisa, give me my water there. Yeah, but I was checking if I can reach it. So you come to Estonia and you continue actually your life. For me, it was like more continuing than starting all over. Although it was starting all over because nobody knows you here except your girlfriend and everything. But she was working in a circle, in an environment which was practically great for me to fall in. The first person here was her manager, who was manager of a dance school, Raivo Hellerma. So Raivo took me literally to the working offices, and this is he's here. These are his credentials, and he's gonna work for us as a coordinator, as advisor. He's gonna work for us. So that was good. But I'm also a energy healer. I'm also a Reiki master. So I started to work at the gym club where my girlfriend at the time, was working. So I start practicing there. And from there comes up this and that and this and that. They have a party of anniversary of this place. And my wife asked me, would you like to do a couple of songs for them? I said, yes, why not? I mean, that's what I do, right?
Sure, yeah.
So, and yeah, I start to perform, and everybody there was like, wait a second. And he lives in Estonia? Okay. So there was a reporter of Chronica, and hey, we became friends, and he goes like, listen, I would love to write about you guys and keep on tracking you, how you're going here and everything. So you have that keeps on going. And practically the same year that I'm here in Estonia, I came in spring. And the same year, I'm standing in Ullesummer.
Yeah.
You know, with 20 dancers behind me. You know, and everybody again like, who the hell is this guy? He lives in Estonia? Whoa. So there comes another producer, NLX. And NLX tells me, listen, would you like to do a couple of shows for me? I have this, I have that. Yeah. So, and you start to perform bit by bit by bit. New Year's Eve, different things. And I still have my contacts abroad. So you have to leave Estonia for 3 months, and then I come back. And everything at that time was on borrowed time. So you get your visa for 3 months. You have to leave the country for 1 day.
Oh, yeah.
Come back. You were safe when you were here.
I've always had a visa. Yeah, I've managed. I'm good.
You're good.
I'm a little bit worried right now, but you know. But overall, no, I'm
okay. You're good.
I think Australians are particularly good at finding a visa scam, where it's in our culture, our national nature to know how to find the loopholes to get through. So I'm all right.
Well, at that time, I had to leave Estonia every single 3 months.
Yeah, right.
Just go out for 1 day or a couple of hours and come back. You have to. And then get another stamp for another 3 months. That was the legal time.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and keep on doing that. You know, and start. You started. I literally started to roll all by myself. You know, no management, no nothing. People were contacting me, and then it was happening. You know, I was just telling my girls a couple of weeks ago, the year 2000, I still remember it clearly. I had 5 gigs on New Year's Eve.
That's great.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to die afterwards. I started at 7:30 and I finished at 3:30 in the morning. From one place to the other. And my wife was driving me. All that, you know. And man, that was, wow, are you nuts, you know.
I'm always in admiration. Well, we do many similar events like you might do. There's a party, a wedding, the New Year's Eve event, whatever. It's common that now our comedians will be asked to come along and perform. And for us, I'm always in awe of the band and the singers, because the band, they got to get there at 4:00, set everything up, do a sound check, go through the songs, all that. Then they got to go away for a while. I don't know where they go. They go somewhere. And then come back, play 2 or 3 sets over the course of the evening. Our comedians, we roll in. How you doing? Yes, good. Can the host bring us on? Cool. Thank you. 25 minutes later. Thank you. Time to go. We've had our laughs. We're out of there. Like, our job is easy. No sound check. Good. Are we on? Yep. Good. Sound check done. That's, you know, for us. And I feel a sympathy for the band who've got to be there forever.
Well, I tell you, I always, in my entire career, I always fight for my band. My band first, and I make no jokes. People who works with me, they know I make no jokes. You know, I don't need a contract. I don't need this. I don't need that. I tell you, what I expect. And this is it. Write it down. This is it. I mean, I was a drummer. 13 years of sitting behind my drum set and perform and sing lead singer, the band of 9 people, practically every night in the casino.
Where was that?
On Aruba.
In Aruba, okay.
Yeah. So the band is my backbone, whatever I do. And I have this band since I started here, these guys. And hey, but I reach to the height, to the level that I have my sound man, I have my band, everything. They know they have to be there then, and so, and so, and so, and this is it. I just come in the evening. I don't have to do sound check because it's done for me and everything. So you just go in the evening.
And that's a privilege that you've earned.
Yes.
To be able to do that. That's,
exactly.
through having those bonds of people that are 20 years old now, or something like this.
I mean, you pay your dues.
Yeah.
You pay your dues to reach this level. And this is it. So yes, and I feel myself to be the lucky one. You come to a place, you come to a country, you don't speak their language, you try, I still trying, and after 3 years being here, you win the Eurovision.
Right.
Damn,
Does that pose to you an interesting thing in your career? Because it's this, I mean, it's quick, it's 3 years, not very long, as I believe you were saying, like, Jesus, 3 years later.
I was here. Yeah, 3
and then
years
we're winning
later.
the Eurovision. Like you said, like, what now? What the hell do you think to yourself as an artist? Like, what now after Eurovision?
Another Eurovision.
Okay, no problems.
I always think back. I think it was 5 years ago or 4 years ago. I was invited by the EBU to be in London because it was the anniversary of the EBU.
Okay.
And I remember Conchita Wurst came a little bit later. But there were most people of the internet, of the Vivi blog, journalists, organizers, TV producers, and everything. And I think that the only performance who were there was me and Conchita Wurst later. And then they present you to because it was like, wow, it was just chairs on the stage and a theater full of the media.
Yeah.
You go like, what the hell? Okay, let's do this. And they present you, and it's literally what the presentator was reading. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a legend on himself. Dave Benton. I was like, what? A legend.
Is there another Dave Benton?
I like that, actually. I like that. And when I walked on while I was walking in, and the guy started to recap this whole thing, and things that actually that people don't think about it, For me, it was like, wow! After 3 years in Estonia, I got a chance to win the Eurovision. I mean, I've been following Eurovision since I was 16. From the island. How do I follow the Eurovision? we had a Dutch magazine that was coming every week called the Music Express. And they were writing in it all the things about the Eurovision. And I know because it comes with the springtime. We didn't have any springtime or anything. For us, it was sun 24 hours every day. So we were following that. There was another magazine that was coming called Panorama, also Dutch, and writing this.
Okay, and this is all this is still Antilles.
Yes, back there. When I was 16, 17. And if you want to know who won it, and you're eager to know it, you don't wait until this magazine comes again, So you go to the movies, because then they had the Polygon news from Holland, black and white. And then you see who won it, like that. So I've been following that. Did I ever thought, hey, one day I'm going to win this?
I'm a singer, I'm a performer, I'm a drummer,
To ever?
Sure.
Never. Not even when I moved to Europe. And I was living in Germany, I was living in Holland, I was living in Norway. Never. I was always following it. I was always watching it. Never crossed my mind. So these guys, they mention all these kind of things, They go like, what the hell? You're the first dark person to win the Eurovision. You're from the Antilles, man. You're from the Antilles. You're from the Caribbean, man. What the hell are you doing in our Eurovision? You brought Estonia into the Eurovision, And Dave, we don't want to mention it, but it's an issue. We have to mention it. You're the oldest winner of the Eurovision.
You got it all the big three. Yep.
You got it all.
Yeah.
You got it all.
Person of color, small Estonia, oldest guy.
Yes.
Yep.
He said, but your story, the story, how you got here and everything. You're a legend, man. It's a story to be written.
It's a great story.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's a fantastic story. And
for me, I've really wanted to have you on this podcast for a while. I think all my friends know that. Most of my friends right now are just happy that I asked you to be on here because they're sick of me talking about this. They goddamn just have Dave on already and shut the fuck up about it. I guess I did. It is an amazing story, and I guess I connected with that also being someone who's moved from my home country, trying to be an entertainer. I lived for 2 years in Sweden. I lived for a year in Finland, traveled as well, and could never find a place to settle in. And then somehow, for some odd reason that I do not know, quite understand yet why, I just seemed to fit in here. And then when I was here, my friends and I just had the idea, let's do stand-up comedy. And I'd had some experience working as a theatre producer in Sydney, some experience working with comedy crews in Sydney, not really at a professional level, at an amateur university level. And then somehow it just happened. And in my small, much smaller fashion, what Estonia gave to me was the chance to be a stand-up comedian, which I think I'd always had some dream. Now, did I think, again, that I would be a stand-up comedian in Estonia? I didn't even know what that country was when I was growing up. I didn't even know. We had to look. I remember when it was 2006 and my two friends and I decided to travel to Europe. And we said, we'll buy a car in Sweden. Yep, great. We know Sweden. That's one of the ones we know. Good. And then we were like, but can you drive down that side? Is that Russia? I don't know. And we had to go buy a map. Like, there was no Google Maps. I had to fold it out. And we blue tacked it to my wall. And we went, yeah, those countries, they're not Russia. No, they're not Russia. Okay, we can drive down there. Yeah, we can drive down there. So I didn't even know, and even then when we first come, and what is this place, and that there was this desire in me to be a performer. There was this latent thing in me that I want to be a comedian, and that somehow this country was able to give that to me.
Because I think it's because however we put it, however we want to look at it, Estonia is a pretty free country.
Yeah.
It's a pretty free country. People, you're free. You know, and that's the whole thing, you know. And bit by, but you have to understand also that, like when I came here, Estonia was pretty young. Very, very young.
Very young.
Very.
Right. Which is the bit I can't quite grasp. I mean, I'm not trying to say I've not really had challenges, yes, like any artist, any businessman, any individual has challenges. But I don't know if society really gave me challenge in the same way that it may have given you challenge.
I tell you, I think that for me, again, I consider myself to be lucky. I heard tons of negative things when I came to Estonia. But I heard also tons of positive things.
That's nice.
You know, which I pay more attention to. For me, what was interesting at that time is I want to hear what the artist world around me thinks.
In Estonia, what they think. Okay.
What they think. I'm not so interested in what the media think.
I can connect with that. You want to know what your peers think.
Yes, because the media can think whatever they want to because that's what they do. If you're lucky to find a media who writes positive things about you without looking for the intrigue, you're very lucky. You're very lucky. But it is true. It is true. The media writes more about intrigue than about...
There's always a twist. There's always some controversy they need to put in there.
Exactly. I heard it so many times that, Dave Benton is boring. We don't want to hear about I love my wife and I love my thing. We don't want to.
Yeah.
It's enough. We heard it a lot. No, I keep on saying it because it's the truth. But what the artist world are thinking about you? Do they want to have you around? Do they want to work with you? You know, and I made that actually my priority. There wasn't not one show that I produced that I didn't have an Estonian artist next to me.
Nice.
Or 2 or 3 or 4, even 6.
Oh, you're the only foreigner there?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I know this.
When James came over, I had James also.
James Wirtz?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. James. I've done so many gigs with James. Yeah. He's the best.
I had him in a couple of shows with me. But that was important for me. That was very important for me. What does the artist, what do they think about me? Do they want to work with me? Do they want to stay away from me? What was it? Are they envious? Are they jealous? Or do they think I'm arrogant? Do they think what was it? And luckily, most of artists were working with me. You know.
I think if they're, hopefully, on the whole, if they're a real artist, they really value what they do. You're able to see between that. I had an experience recently where I was hired to do some writing pretty commercial thing, I guess. There's going to be some voiceover. And they didn't quite know what they wanted. So, okay, here's my ideas. Here's my idea. Like this idea, you like that idea, you like this. And then it was whatever the company was, it was the marketing manager or someone. And then that person, he came back and said, no, don't like that. Don't like that. And I went, and then it put up my defenses and I went, and I spent a moment, I don't want to feel like that, but I spent a moment going, fuck you. And then I tried to think about, okay, Lewis, calm down. Why are you thinking these emotions? Why do you feel that? And I understood, am I pretentious or am I arrogant because I don't want someone to criticize my ideas? And I understood it. I only want comedians to criticize my ideas. I don't want the marketing manager to criticize my ideas. I want the other artists. And when I do, because they have my respect, the marketing manager has my respect, but in a different way, not in terms of writing content. I want to grow. I want that feedback, but I kind of only want it from comedians, from my peers, from those artists around me.
I think more you want to say is you want it from people who knows your business.
Yes,
who knows it. Yeah, I had in the beginning. I had one because I was working a lot in Bonnie and Clyde at the time. And
wait, which place is now Bonnie and Clyde? Jesus, I know that was a place. What's it now?
Olympic Casino.
Which one?
That's in Hotel Olympia.
Oh, okay. Down. Oh, yes, yes. Yeah. That
Yes.
that was Bonnie and Clyde down there. Yes.
Yes. And I reached there one day. I didn't know that they changed management, but I had one show, one night every month.
Okay.
That was mine. And I could do whatever I wanted to it. So I was bringing guest artists and everything there.
That's nice.
Yeah. And so I didn't know they changed management. And then I reached there. And they told me that the night manager or whatever manager who's there who wants to talk to me. Said, okay. And I thought that's my friend Kalev, so I know Kalev. I said, okay. And there's one guy I don't know. So I said, is Kalev here? No, he's this one. I said, excuse me, but you wanted to see me? He said, yes. And he said, listen, I said, listen, don't get me wrong, but who are you? And he, I'm the manager of Bonnie Klein. Say, nice to meet you. I'm Dave. Yeah. And he said, first things first, I want to see the list of your songs. No.
Nah.
I said, why? I want to see if the songs that you bring is good for my people. I said, you're new here? You're new here. I said, my friend, excuse me, you don't have people and I don't have people here. This is Bonnie and Clyde. I'm here to work for the people. Now, I'm not going to show you my list. I'm not going to do it. I never do it. And because my list is my surprise, always. I'm not telling it, not to you, not to anybody. Well, this will be your last night then. I said, oh, there's where we're going. Okay. Then I would say, enjoy it while it lasts. Because, my friend, I don't give you a week or two. That's all you got. But I will keep on coming here. I'm quite sure of it. You know. And indeed, he was 1 week, was gone. And I'm sorry I didn't met him after that. You know. But I know that he doesn't have the authority to judge my show. You don't judge a show that's been put in there because the show is there for a reason. If the people of the hotel doesn't think that this show sells, they don't put it there. You know, it's very simple.
Sure.
If I'm the manager of the club and you're coming in, it's because I hired you. I'm not going to question your program. Yeah. Hey, let me see your program. What you going to say? What you going to do? Hello?
Yeah.
No.
That doesn't
No. My job is to run the place. And you're there because you're hired to be there. So I'm not supposed to judge or question the job you're going to do. There cannot be. Doesn't exist.
That would be like, I guess, when people come in and they say, tell us the jokes you're going to tell. And we're like, no.
Cannot.
First of all, it's notwithstanding art, notwithstanding this is our thing, I can't tell you them because my thing can only be delivered in front of the audience.
Exactly.
I'm going to sit here and read my jokes off. Maybe I've written them out. Maybe I happen to have a script. You know, what am I going to do? Stand here and read my jokes to you?
What about if you don't like my joke?
Yeah, then what?
Take it out.
Yeah, you're out and like, I don't know. So,
but this system became a system towards Estonia during the Christmas time, because the pastors, the priests of the churches, they want to know your list of songs, your repertoire, and I can understand that.
I was going to say, you're more likely to listen to a priest.
Because you can have songs which are not suitable for Christmas time, and they're not suitable to do in a church. I can understand that. I mean, if I would start with Highway to Hell in a church, in any church, that priest has to be pretty Metallica to go ahead.
It would be great if you came out with the Angus Young, the hat on, the little shorts.
Yes. Yeah, I can understand they're going to go like, Dave, do you mind taking this out from this? This is not good.
But even in using that, even in the example of the hotel manager or the Bonnie and Clyde manager, you know, it's not even like, no, go 2 fingers up. I'll never tell you. I'll never do it. It's not even that. There are ways of approaching an artist.
Yes.
If you had a concern,
of course,
maybe later in the week, sit down and talk. Dave, the venue's got a direction. Here's what we're thinking about. What do you think about this? You know, it's a
different thing.
I don't think you'll never get an artist to do something by commanding them to do it.
No, I mean, it's a different thing. If you come and you tell me, listen, this is our club, and we like to hear this kind of songs.
Okay, yeah.
That's a different thing.
Yeah.
I will go like, yeah, let's see if we can do 1 or 2 of them. Of course, let's see that. Which happened a lot in my career, you know. I remember once when I started to do this kind of Las Vegas show, that you have to be on stage with an orchestra and everything. There was one hotel manager at that time who really gave me basically my first acceptable show. Really, this guy squeezed my balls for a whole week. Honestly. This was like, no, I don't give you these 3 months of contract that you have. I said, yes, but I signed them. I said, I don't care. Look at this. You don't have any contract. I said, I can take you to court for this. I said, with what? You don't have a contract. So I'm a fast thinker, actually. Like, what is it exactly you want me to do? He said, now we're getting there. You start this Friday. I'll be there. And I started the show. He gave me 2 weeks. I started the show. And I had to do 1 dinner show in a room with capacity for 500 people having dinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're eating food. They're not watching you, but yeah.
Oh, they're watching you.
Yeah.
Trust me. And then you have to do a midnight show in the nightclub. Okay. So you start with the dinner show. Finish. So I would say the applause was randomly. So I was like, wow, yes. And the waiter comes to me and he said, I will never forget his name. This hotel manager said, Mr. Sanders wants to see you. And first thing crossed my mind, damn, he was sitting, he was watching this. And Mr. Sanders was sitting in the back of the diner room. And he goes like, yep, let's meet tomorrow at 2:00. And I go like, oh gosh. I couldn't sleep, actually. This is my first
because he wouldn't tell you. He wouldn't tell you what his thoughts were.
This is my first chance.
Yeah.
And locals don't get the chance to do Las Vegas shows in the big hotels on the island because it's purely Americans.
Okay.
You don't get it as a local. It's my first chance. And so 2:00 I was there. And he said to me literally like this, I like your suits. You're well dressed. I notice you do even your nails. Go like, okay. Your shoes are perfect. Nice. Your makeup done. Said, I don't wear makeup. You can use some. Your show. You have a tremendous voice. Your show stinks. And I go like, Mr. Sanders, I smell a butt. So, butt. He said, let's try to fix this. I tell you, I have this group coming from Brazil, and they're coming in with 300 people, all traveling agents. Do you think you can do these songs by Friday? There were 6 songs. There were 3 sambas. Yeah. These sambas that the Americans do, la la la.
Are they easier or harder to do?
No, they're easy.
They're easy
for me.
Okay.
But it was. I told him, I said, listen, it's all nice. I think I can do them. And of course, he finished me with My Way. And I told him, I think it should be done, yeah. But since I have only 2 weeks and I'm only starting this week, I don't have the money to do these arrangements. I told him, okay. He told me, okay. I will give you the advance. I'll give you an advance. You put these 6 songs in your show. It doesn't matter what other songs you do. You do this. And then we talk. That's it. And he did. He deal with the orchestra manager, conductor, and everything. They made the arrangements. Man, I tell you, I was bloody shaking. I don't shake before.
That gig you had to do, yeah.
I was shaking. I mean, if they come with 300 people, that means that this diner room is gonna be full with 500 people sitting having dinner.
Yeah.
So the main thing about that was that nobody eats during your show. They're watching you.
Because they're agents, you said, right?
Yeah.
Didn't you say, yeah, they're like people in the industry
Yes.
who could be helping you possibly,
Yes,
or
and,
something.
and bringing tourists, more
Yeah.
tourists to the island, if
yeah.
they know there is shows like that, So you got them. So, man, we started, and there's only one thing I had in my head, only one thing. Said, Mr. Sanders, eat this today. And we shot it. And it went, And then we did My Way. And at that time, I was so crazy that I was singing My Way in F.
Okay. Way up, a high pitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was reaching Michael Jackson songs just full voice.
Dang.
At that time. So, man, and we finished. And trust me, man, this room erupted. The people stood up, all these Brazilians were like, molto bene, molto bene, muy bien, buenísimo. And the same fucking waiter, Mr. Sanders, is waiting for you in the back. What the fuck?
What does he want now?
What does he want now? And the same thing. Can you meet me tomorrow at 2 o'clock? So I went there at 2 o'clock, and he came in, sat down, said, nice of you to come. Took the papers out, signed that. It's 3 months of contract. And I signed it. And he signed it. He said, now get out of my office.
Jesus.
This guy became my best friend ever in show business and on the island. At that time, sorry for the expression, but everybody who doesn't make it, they call you, just like stupid nigger. And this guy told me straight, when I was walking out, he called me, said, Efren, don't let anybody tell you that you're a nigger. Never. Now get out of my office. But can you imagine, after, I've been working for that Sheraton Hotel for many years after that. And it was one time that I haven't heard much, because from Sheraton I started with the Concorde and I went to the Holiday Inn and all these big names. But then I got a call. Yeah. Efren, are you free tonight? I said, actually, yes, it's my only Saturday free, actually. Do you think you can do like 5 songs tonight? We have orchestra, we have everything. You can pick the songs. I said, yes, but where? I said, in the Sheraton. said, yeah, but that's where Mr. Sanders is working. He said, shh, don't say anything. He doesn't expect you. But he mentioned it. If there's anybody he wants to see on his farewell party, that's different.
It was a farewell party for Mr.
Yes.
Sanders.
He was moving to the Sheraton, New York.
Yeah.
And there I was like, God. And this guy went like, literally stood there in the middle of the room, watching my show, standing up, And I go like, God damn. But you got your lessons, So I was giving a lesson to my Sisi, and I was telling her why I'm so strict and so hard on show business.
With her and teaching her.
With everybody.
Okay.
With everybody. Because I didn't get it easy. I had to prove myself each and every day.
Do you worry about that with her? That, okay, you've been in the Idol and then this, and then you're going to be on the Instagram or whatever. And,
no. She's very aware. She's very aware that things don't come easy. And she's very aware that everything comes with time. And so is Lisa. And the main thing is that she's aware that she won't get it. She has to go for it. And that's the main thing. My first lesson ever, when I got actually this 3 months contract, that's before the episode of Sanders, because there's another manager who gave me this.
With the one that Sanders ripped up.
Yeah, that one. I got it because of my achievements on the island. People knew me. I just came from a equally festival like the Eurovision, but for Spanish-speaking countries. That was in Mexico City. I just came from that festival. I finished second from the bottom.
Second from the bottom,
yes.
Okay.
But I did good. I mean, you have to be good to be there. I did great. And I got this contract. But I know for myself, I know that God help me. I'm not going to be able to do this because this is something else. Sitting behind my drum set of 18 pieces and playing and singing, and I have the band to back me up and everything. It's not the same thing than standing in front and entertain a whole crew who's watching at you.
Yeah, I understand that, yeah.
It's a different thing, I always respect stand-up comedy. I mean, you guys, you must be crazy. People are watching. You're the only guy on stage.
But even in that same idea, like you somehow, even though you're still on the same stage, you felt more comfortable behind the drums. Even if you were singing, even if you were the main leader of the band, you felt more comfortable in that space.
Yeah, of course.
In that same way, I think comedians feel comfortable when we have that microphone to hold on to. And it's nothing. And I feel like I'm hiding behind it. So it's a thin with a bit of wire. And comedians, we're so specific about the microphone because I think it's all we've got. Like we want the Shure SM58 wired microphone.
Yes.
I don't want no wireless shit. I don't want no other brand. I don't want no other thing. I don't want a big furry thing on top. Jesus, it's the only thing that we need.
Yes.
Can I at least have that? And we've got like a whole bunch of them. Every gig, we've just got them just in case. Like really? You haven't got, okay.
It is true. It is.
And so and here's my next tip. Don't trust someone who says they're a comedian and they use the headset. Unless you're like world famous, right? You're not, comedians use the microphone. You don't, I've got two hands. No, there's something about that's all with this microphone. So I do understand, and if I don't have, even if I'm hosting a conference or some event, and I thankfully now every tech company in Estonia knows Lewis wants a microphone. And I'll take a wireless. Because I know, fair enough, I get it. It's a conference. We can't have a wire, right?
Yes,
but they all know if Lewis is coming, he's going to want the real microphone and not a headset.
Because you hide behind
it. It's my thing. It's my comfort blanket to hold on to.
It is.
On that. In that same way for you, you had to come forward.
And I have to come forward. But the whole thing is that, hey, for that whole time, for 40 minutes, half hour, it's you.
It's you, baby.
It's you.
Yeah.
It's you. You can't give it to anybody. So what I did was that there was one guy from Las Vegas coming to the island to do the shows. And his name was Hal Fraser. Hal was, I guess, a guy of about 2 meters tall, dark skin, well-dressed. And I will always go like, what the hell, look at this guy. This guy is the only guy who walks into the showroom, everybody sitting there, and people go like, ladies and gentlemen, blah, 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 let's proudly present Mr. Hal Fraser. And the guy walks in from the door. Hi, good evening. Nice to see you guys. Hi.
Oh, I love it.
Have a nice dinner.
True showman.
Hey, I saw you yesterday.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Great, good to see you. Blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, looks like we made it. Go like, where the hell? Who gave you the tone? Somebody should have. Ding, ding, ding. Nobody. Just looks like we. And the orchestra. Bang. I'm like, holy crap. And you watch this guy, you go like, good, damn, okay, this is it. So I check all the entertainment on the strip. Concord Hotel, Hal Fraser. I call. Is it possible for me to talk to Hal Fraser? Yes, 1 second, we check it. Say, Mr. Fraser. Say, you can say Hal. I said, Hal, hi, nice, good evening. I'm Efren Benita from the island, and probably you know me. Said, I know you. There's a guy with a purple suit who just came from Mexico City. Said, yeah, you're the drummer in the Holiday Inn. Said, yes. So how can I help you, my friend? Said Hal, listen, I just got a chance to do the Las Vegas show in the Sheraton. I'm sitting with 3 months that I have to do the show every day, and I need some advice. And I thought, who better to help me out with all these things than Mr. Hal Fraser? I said, wow, great, nice of you to think of me. I said, so what kind of tips would you like? I said, is it fair for me to say like everything? Said, okay. So let's start, because I've seen you perform. I've been to the Holiday Inn. I see you with the band. I see you, and I saw you, and I saw you in the festival and all that. So good. Let's start by if you come tomorrow. That was the next day, Monday. If you come tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I have the chance. I'll meet you. Then we talk. I was there, because they can tell you I'm never late.
Okay.
Never.
Mm-hmm. You were on time today.
Yeah. 6 o'clock, no Hal Fraser. 7 o'clock, I hear, looks like we made it. And his show starts. I go like, what the fuck? So I left. I called him next day. Say, Hal, I was there from 3 to 7. Oh, shucks, something must have happened. I must have forgot it. Efren, really, man. Hey, can you be there on Wednesday? Same times. I'll be there. Same story. And I called him the next day again. And the next day again. And no, let's do it like this, because I really would like to help you. I start the show at 7. I will reserve a table for you, and I'll be there. I'll meet you. So I went there, went to the show, reached there. Yes, there's a table for friend Benita reserve. Mr. Fraser did for me. No, sir. Yeah, there must be. He must have forgot it, sir. No, sir. And I hear da-da-da-da-da-da-da. His show starts. Are you sure? Yes, every place is full. Every place is taking that. Damn. Okay. So I left. And I called him Saturday morning. Said, Hal, okay, what we gonna do? So I'm there at 12, 12:30.
Yeah. You know the story by now.
1:30. And I go like, okay, whatever has to happen, then will happen, you know. He doesn't look a man to me like who will drop me like that, you know. So I pushed the chair and I stood up. And man, this guy was big. You know. I told you, he's about 2 meters, you know.
Yeah.
Those big hands like callus, you know. Took my shoulder and said, sit down. Go like, Hal, listen, don't tell me to sit down, man. I've been here the whole fucking week. You've been playing me as a stupid. He said, listen, look up. Do you see the 4th floor there? Do you see it? Yeah? Do you see that curtain push there, the side? Do you see that? Yeah? That's my balcony. That's my room. You've been drinking 1 gin tonic on Monday, another gin tonic, 3 gin tonics while you're waiting for me? Smoking this Salem cigarettes, that's a mental? Are you sick? You don't do that if you're a singer. You think I haven't been watching you? I've been watching you for the whole week. Up there, you've been doing the same pattern all the time. Today also, you reach here at 12, you start taking a gin tonic, smoke, throw those bloody things away if you're a good singer. You don't do that. Efren, this is your first lesson.
Wow.
I've been pushing you away. Man, you kept coming back. You kept coming back. You kept calling me. You kept knocking. That's all you need for your career. Because the rest, you have it, my friend. Carajo. The rest, you have it. But this is the basic. You never give up. You don't give up ever. And now get me a gin and tonic too.
That's an amazing story.
And I'll never forget it.
Jesus.
I'll never forget it.
He was watching. He knew.
All the time.
Did you stop smoking after that? Yeah.
I think I stopped smoking like a week after.
No shit.
And just like I took a cigarette and I put it and I went like, nah.
Yeah,
I put it out and threw the package away. And that's it.
That was it. Because it's so strong. I mean, that whole, your desire, your thumping, whatever's thumping inside of you just kicks in. You're like, no, all of a sudden it makes sense.
Done. Finish it.
Right.
But this is what I will never forget. You keep on coming. You keep on coming.
That's an unbelievable lesson. Because I was about to ask, why the hell are you still calling this guy? I was like, I was about to go, you're going to need to explain this part to me. Okay, I had it explained.
Yeah. And that's it. And he explained to me. He said, he did it. He did it. He closed the doors to a lot of places in Vegas. He said then he realized that he stopped getting contracts. He stopped getting gigs, offers, because the one tells the other, no, don't work with Fraser. No.
He was being a hard ass to people and they didn't get it.
Don't do it. He said, it took me 5 years to come back, Efren. 5 years.
Why was he closing the doors on them? I mean, I understand with you, he sees who you are and he's clocked you. He needs to teach you a lesson. But he was this guy.
He was this guy.
Yeah,
he was a little bit hard-headed. You know?
Okay.
He was a little. I mean, if you, hey, you have to reach the status of Sinatra to be hard-headed. You know that. You know that. If you less than that, who are you?
Yeah, right.
Who are you? You know, I did an audition in New York, and this guy asked me, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm a singer." And Charlie Thomas, God rest his soul, who was part of the Drifters at the time, he looked at me and go like, no. And I go like, and Charlie told him, no, Efren is a great entertainer. He has been going around with us for 3 months now. He's fantastic. I go like, great. Come on here, man. Tell me your story. See, I've been touring with the Drifters for 3 months now. And just, okay, listen, we take your number and everything, so I know you're there, and whatever happened, we can take you. Because when I told the guy I'm a singer, he told me, look out of my window, man. Do you see that queue down there? They're all singers. They're all singers, and I bet you there must be at least 10 of them who are better than you. You know, so they don't look for that.
I think that entertainer, like I get what you mean. It's something that I think when I'm trying to work with younger artists, maybe a bit younger, they haven't quite seen. We haven't had as many showmen or showwomen, let's say, the showman style in recent years of entertainment. It's something that I think is missing. I don't know if it's something that's missing. Is it a European culture thing? Is it different from American style culture, a Western sort of thing of that big, louder, larger than life personality? And it is the guy that walks into the room and goes, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming out.
Yes.
You're doing all this. And you're like, dang, he's the man. And he's got an aura, and we're attracted to that. And I think that it's something that's a little bit missing from entertainment right now. And it's an everlasting skill, because if you can entertain, then you can do a lot of stuff.
Yes. Who dares? And who will be accepted for daring? Who will be accepted? You know, people don't accept it from everybody. You have to be the one.
The man.
You have to be the one to do it. You know, I used to do an act in my concerts. I used to take a lady out of the public just like this, or I go to her and she's sitting next to her husband, and I go like, "Are you married?" And I go like, "Yes." He said, "Okay." And I look at the guy and said, "No offense, but I don't talk to you right now." You know, and people started to laugh, you know, and they accepted it as entertainment.
Yes.
Here in Estonia, you know, and I go like, "What's your name?" Angela, how does he call you? He calls me Angela. No, you don't call her Angela. So you want to learn? Musi. Tulasia. It's different. Angela, Tulasia. That's different. So now things going to change. You get me? Said, Angela, come here. From tomorrow or when you go home, this is what it's going to be. Catch it. And I sit with his wife on my lap. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. And I take her hand. And the guys are sitting like until the end, And when it's finishing, I bring her back to him and I put their hands together, and let it, and let the song finish with them.
That's nice.
But they accept it, and that's entertainment.
You said that again, and I think it's a good point that you said that Estonians accepted it. And I agree. Before that, it would be like they've never seen something like this before. And I always had this experience in the early days of the stand-up comedy because it was myself, it was two other American guys and one Estonian, and we're sort of just four of us. We were the original guys just knocking about, not knowing what we're doing, a microphone, put a light on us, off we go. And then we were doing it places like Drink Bar, so kind of very foreigner places. So it was kind of naturally in English. And I guess Estonian people who were coming at that time, maybe they're a little bit more international. They'd heard of what this stand-up is. So they were used to it in English. And then I'd have lots. I would put the word as lots over the years of Estonian people come up to me after a show and say, that was great. That could never happen in Estonian. No. And I'm like, are you fucking insane? No. They're like, no, this can only happen in English. Stand-up is English is the language of the stand-up. That's how we know it is. Oh, Estonian is this and that, and it's boring, and the words don't work. And I was like, first of all, don't argue with me at a grammar level, because they can do stand-up in Finnish, and that's way worse. So it's not a grammar thing. It's not going to be a grammar thing.
No.
And it was a super odd, it was almost like a reverse racism scenario where I was going, no, it can happen in Estonian. And the Estonians going, no, it can't happen in Estonian. And I'm like, I bet you it can. I bet you it's going to happen. And they're like, no. And yeah, it's not that Estonians didn't have humor. It's not that they weren't into comedy. They just, once they got their eyes open to it, bam. And then it was there.
But it's also it's the right timing for it to start with, and it's the one who brings it. Okay. It's the one who brings it because they cannot translate from English to Estonia because in the middle you have this lost in translation.
Definitely.
And they will put it in their language. What will never be the same thing as in English. You have to bring it now in your language, meaning the same things that it means in English. See how it comes out.
And I think it took our comedian Sander Õigus to really crack it. Like he was the one that cracked it and went like, he uses words and has a particular way of using the language and was able to. And then people went, yeah. And I guess, and for you at a different stage, I mean, there are now other showmen and show people in Estonian, but you sort of had to show people how it was done right here. And then they kind of figured out like, okay, well, I'm not Frank Sinatra, I'm Estonian, but I'm going to take what I can and I see Dave doing it and I'm going to and find an Estonian way of doing it. And you showed those people as well how That can happen.
They were laughing last week because we were watching the concert that I did in Lina Hall 15 years ago, and more than 15 actually. And I said a part. No, you're Estonians. You're not cold. People are saying you're cold, but you're not cold. You just have a different temperament. That's the whole thing. You live with a different temperament. So, but I've been going around Estonia, and everybody's warning me, Dave. It will not be the same thing. The Estonian people are different. No. I mean, I made people even clap their hands in the churches and stamp their feet. Totally different. But it's how you bring it. It's how you bring it. When people learn to accept entertainment, that's it. You can be just a singer, but again, there's a lot of singers around, especially in Estonia. Practically 80% of Estonians sings.
They do. They love it, don't they?
They do.
Always.
They do.
Any chance they can get.
Yes. And you have out of the 80s, you take your own show, your own concerts. There's so many people who thinks they can sing better than you anyway. They will start singing the songs that you're singing with you, and they try to sing it louder than you too, for people to hear them, But I'm so professional that when I hear that, I go ahead. Here you have the microphone. And they go like, no microphone. Okay, so I'm the one with the microphone, And for you guys, it's the same.
Yeah.
I'm the one with the microphone. Don't mess with me because I have the microphone. So yes. That's
a huge part of stand-up. Is that I appreciate we've been here for a while, and we will wrap it up soon. I know, we've got stuff to do. But that idea of being the showman, that personality that you said, I mean, anyone can be a singer, but we need to be an entertainer. We need to do that. How do you... Are these lessons that you impart to Sissi and also Lisa as they're looking for careers in entertainment, to be not just a singer, to be an entertainer, but I guess they've got to find their own way of being a showman.
They have to. And luckily they are. I look at Sissi's teachers. Sissi has good teacher. Very good ones. Lisa has good teachers in her dancing. Very good ones. But they know that they can never be their teacher. They have to find their own things. They have to. There's nothing more productive and more beautiful in your career than being yourself and being accepted for it. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. I remember once they told me you have to do audition for Fredrikstad Palace. That's the biggest theater in Berlin.
Okay. And
I go like, but you have my video and you have my tapes. Let them listen to it. Let them watch my video. And that was the time that I had the two ladies, my manager. And the head one told the other one, "Give me the phone." Said, "Listen to me, you pussy. What's your name?" I said, "My name is Efren Benita. You know that." "Good. Do I hear Benita or do I hear Sinatra?" No, I said Benita. "Well, my friend, even Sinatra would do audition for this place."
Yeah.
Said, so get your ass here by tomorrow, 12:30, and that's it. and put on your gray suit. And when you get there, I wanted to reach to this point. When you get there, the producer tells you, go ahead and be yourself. Ta-da! Don't go there and give me a song like Sinatra. Do something like Sammy Davis Jr. Or let me hear you sing Ed Sheeran. No. Go there and be yourself. That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to see. So, being yourself and being accepted for it. That's what you want. That's what you want as a performer.
I think that's all you can be.
Yeah, that's all you can be.
Because otherwise, what have you got? Nothing.
Nothing.
That's all you've got.
Period.
I love it. I think we'll wrap it up there. Dave, thank you
Great.
very much for your time,
My
sir.
pleasure.
I appreciate
My
it very
pleasure.
much.
Thank you
Lisa,
very much.
thanks for sitting there through all of this.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Yeah, it's been a wonderful episode. Bye.
Great.